What if you could stop putting out fires in your business and finally lead like a true CEO? Meet Alan Asco. He was drowning in operational chaos at BendPro, working late nights, fixing problems his team should have handled, and it was costing him time, money, and quite frankly, his sanity. But in just 3 months, everything changed. He implemented 3 powerful accountability systems, and suddenly, his management team stepped up. The chaos disappeared, and BendPro's operations ran like clockwork. How did he do it? And how can you use this same framework to reclaim your time? Let's break it down. We were able to help BendPro fix their operational issues, costing them thousands of dollars. Alan Asco was spending all of his personal time keeping BendPro running smoothly. Then he implemented 3 specific accountability processes that got his management team to step up. In just 3 months, Alan went from constant firefighting to strategic leadership. I'll show you exactly what Better Execute implemented at this 35-person manufacturing company and how these simple changes made such a big difference. If you're handling operational issues your team should be managing, you need to see these next 10 minutes. Hi there, I'm Mike Ernest from Better Execute. And today I'm sharing how we helped transform BendPro's manufacturing through implementing a practical accountability framework. Alan Asco was in a situation many business leaders find themselves in. Despite having clear business goals and effective board, he had what he called a blind spot in creating accountability within his management team. As he put it, he had a long and successful history of not letting things go wrong. But the success came at the cost of his personal time and responsibilities. What makes this case study particularly interesting is how quickly the transformation happened. As Alan emphasized, we only had been working together for 3 months. Let's explore how this rapid change is actually possible. But before diving into the details, let's look at what changed for Alan and BendPro. First, Alan's management approach shifted dramatically. He went from constantly reacting to daily challenges to becoming what would be more described as a proactive manager with greater clarity and focus. And second, his management team stepped up. Rather than Alan handling everything, the team gained clarity on their goals and responsibilities. They understood better what they were accountable for and how they could better support Alan with day-to-day operations. Third, when Alan could finally focus on strategic priorities, instead of being pulled into operational issues, he could dedicate time to critical activities like customer interactions. Alan summed up the transformation beautifully. I was just missing a few processes and concepts, but they make a big difference. This highlights an important truth. Sometimes the gap between struggling and thriving isn't as wide as we think. The right processes can create significant changes quickly, as evidenced by his assessment that your strategies are really working and it's happening quickly. So what exactly was happening at BendPro before this transformation? The company wasn't failing, far from it. They had an effective board and had helped establish clear 1- and 3-year business goals. But something was missing in the execution on those goals. And actually, a board member introduced Alan to myself and Better Execute with a specific hope, instilling greater accountability within the management team. This suggests the accountability gap was visible even at that board level. The case study revealed that Alan was spending much of his time ensuring nothing went wrong, a dedication that came at a significant personal and professional cost. Without clear accountability structure, he couldn't delegate effectively, and he was trapped in reactive management. Many of us know what that feels like. What Better Execute identified was a specific gap. The company needed to translate their annual goals into quarterly projects that would help the management team focus on the right initiatives each quarter and week over week. Without this translation from strategy to execution, Alan remained stuck in the day-to-day. And if these challenges sound familiar in your business, now is the time to take decisive action. Discover the Better Execute difference for yourself. Book your personal management strategy session today by clicking the link in the description below. During this session, we'll identify your specific execution gaps and show you how our proven framework can transform your business, just like it did for BendPro. Don't wait 3 more months to start seeing results. Book now, then continue watching to see exactly how we implemented this transformation. The transformation at BendPro centered around 3 key elements. First, the introduction of quarterly projects, what the case study called rocks. Better Execute helped translate BendPro's annual business goals into specific quarterly priorities. This created a bridge between the company's longer-term vision and their daily operations, ensuring the management team focused on initiatives that would actually move the business forward. Second, clear role definitions for the management team. This wasn't just about updating job descriptions. It was about establishing who was accountable for what specifically. Each manager gained clarity on their specific areas of responsibility and how they could support Alan with operational matters. This directly addressed the accountability gap that had been draining Alan's time and the company's performance. And third, a consistent meeting rhythm. Better Execute facilitated weekly management meetings that monitored performance and development. These regular check-ins created a structure for ongoing accountability, allowing issues to be identified and addressed before they became critical. Together, these elements addressed what Alan described as his blind spot, with how to invoke more accountability from the management team. The beauty of this approach was its simplicity. As Alan later reflected, he was just missing a few processes and concepts, but they make a big difference. And the implementation itself is worth examining, as it's where many business transformations fail. Alan specifically praised Better Execute's approach, saying, "Thanks, Better Execute, for making the implementation of these new processes fairly pain-free." The process began with understanding BendPro's specific situation. Given Alan's history of personally ensuring quality, any new system needed to be maintained at a high standard while freeing his time for more strategic work. The management team was directly involved in defining their roles and their responsibilities. This created ownership and buy-in with clear documentation of what each person was accountable for and how they would support Alan with more day-to-day operations. A critical component was establishing the weekly management rhythm. These meetings became the backbone of the new accountability structure, providing regular opportunities to review progress and address challenges that came up along the way. What made the implementation successful was its respect for BendPro's culture. As Alan noted, change is never easy for team members, but your patience and understanding makes it pretty easy to accomplish our business goals. Rather than forcing rigid systems, Better Execute focused on the critical few processes that would make the biggest difference. The results speak for themselves. Alan transformed from reactive to proactive management. And instead of constantly putting out fires, he gained what he calls greater clarity and focus in his role as general manager. The management team elevated their performance, stepping up with increased accountability. They developed a clear understanding of their goals and responsibilities, allowing them to better support Alan with his operational matters. Alan was able to reclaim his time for strategic priorities like customer interactions, a crucial shift for the business's long-term success. Perhaps most impressive was the speed of transformation. Alan emphasized this in the point in his testimonial saying, "We've only been working together for 3 months. And in just 90 days, Better Execute helped implement changes that significantly improved how the business operated day over day." Alan's final assessment captures the essence of this case study. He said, "Your strategies are really working and it's happening quickly." Sometimes a few well-designed processes can create a profound impact in a surprisingly short amount of time. If you enjoyed this case study of how Alan and BendPro transformed their business in just 3 months, you'll enjoy our next one too. We've worked with many businesses across different industries that have achieved similar results by implementing our management framework. Alan's words really sum it up best. I was just missing a few processes and concepts, but they make a big difference. Sometimes the smallest changes can create the biggest impact. Keep an eye out for our next case study where we'll show you another company's transformation journey using these same principles. Their specific situation might be even more similar to yours. If this story helped you think differently about your business, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next case study.